Well, it's week 2 of DCOM 301, and I'm still in boxes on my way to Hayes. As I was reading this morning your postings, I noted the number of people that commented about PowerPoint. And that reminded me of a lot of stories around PowerPoint. When I'm of the age where I didn't have to create PowerPoints. Somebody, direct report, someone who worked for me, created the PowerPoints for me. But I saw the shift. The shift was to self-sufficiency, and you better learn how to use PowerPoint. Well, I was assigned to a global project for Shell Oil Finance, and they had directed me to create 60 to 70 slides per pack twice a month to communicate to the end users the information about the project. Well, I didn't agree with that. I challenged my boss on it, and it was one of those moments I wish I hadn't done. I quickly learned PowerPoint, and at some point became quite a master at it because of the number of slides I had to create. I created them by trial and error, and I created them also by going to a site I'd like to share with you called SlideShare. It's an internet site where basically it is what it says. People share their PowerPoint slides. And I think it would be a good place for you to go and play around with and look what other people are doing in PowerPoints and how other people rate their slides. I have a SlideShare site myself, and I'm going to be sending you the link. So I reflected now on what are the advantages of PowerPoint. And I have to read my cheat sheet. Well, certainly it's visual information. You know, as you've noted in your early discussions from week 1 last week about how do you learn, many people mentioned that they were visual learners. They like to see things. And so in communicating information, same principle. Some people prefer to see things rather than listen or hear or read. A second advantage of PowerPoint is that it supplements a complex subject with visual aids that can be graphs or diagrams that help explain the information in a different way. Now, PowerPoints were created for oral presentations. And so under that use, they're simply as backup to what the speaker is saying. And that transitions me that's a segue for me to talk about the pitfalls of PowerPoint. The number one pitfall for new users of PowerPoint is to write everything you're going to say on the slides and then read the slide to people. Duh! It's not the way to go. Did I make that mistake? You betcha. And I got feedback from a student. So I learned my lesson. A second pitfall is there is a note section on the bottom that you can insert underneath the slides where you could have all the verbiage you want. So I was in charge of a global campaign for safety with Shell, and I prepared the slides for the face-to-face meeting between the supervisors and their direct reports. I put the notes on the slides, and you know what? I discovered that the plant managers didn't know what notes were or where they were or what to do with them. So my communication lesson there was to tell the people in advance, don't forget the notes section, and here's how it goes. A second lesson I've learned is that in business, often you're in a Wi-Fi or internet-connected room presenting, and you can build in links, hyperlinks, into your slides. But they're not activated until you're in the show presentation. It took me about 6 hours one day to figure that one out. PowerPoint is a powerful tool. It supplements oral presentations. It supplements written reports. And as you know, you're going to be doing PowerPoint to support the reports that you're going to write. I'll be sending you off some links to SlideShare, and you can play around and get some ideas. All right. This is my last video from Houston, Texas.